Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, the super inconvenient edition.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. What now?
This is In-Betweeni 035. Runny nose, could be brain fluid, and when you find 15,000 bees in your car.
Okay, Jill.
Yeah.
I have a runny nose like every other day.
Oh, same.
So my brain is coming out? I knew it!
Yeah, I chose the runny nose story because my nose leaks constantly. I have a deviated septum and all that stuff. So I felt this woman's pain. We're going to talk about her story, the 5 years she went through, and what
A leaky brain?
I can't give it away yet.
Okay, all right, fair. Also, 15,000 bees.
In your car.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's a big ouch. That's a big hospital visit.
Yeah. We'll talk about how many stings you need to
Get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
I'm Jill Chacha, and I am with the amazing Marissa Riley.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here.
That's right.
Just got out of bed, so I am amazing. For context, it is 6 in the evening. One of those Sundays.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
Also Sunday. And before we get into the possible brain leakage and the bees, I think we should give a shout out to Stevie Layla on Apple iTunes. They left an incredible review. We read every review.
Yeah, and we love them. We read them out loud. We toast them.
Yeah, we toast
pretty much.
Them.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone who's been reviewing, subscribing, rating, telling their friends. We want to read this particular review. It was fantastic. Dr. Riley, would you please take us away?
I would love to. All right, so this is from Steve Layla. The subject line is so good and so funny. And they said, "This is my new favorite podcast. My daughter and I listen to it and love all the random funny facts and stories. It's like we're hanging out with two old/new friends who have conversations just like we do. We now use Business Goose, amazing, all the time and find ourselves retelling people the stuff we learned on the show. Highly, highly recommend."
Yeah.
Steve Layla, I'm loving this parent-daughter listening routine. If only you knew how many times a day we talk about the Business Goose thing.
We're with you on Business Goose.
We're so glad we're able to share that inside joke with you, and just glad that we can share this podcast with you. You two sound fucking awesome.
Incredible. Just so incredible. And we're so thankful for everyone who's, like we said, rating, subscribing, because you're helping other people find, this podcast and community, find this community. It's a big deal. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And my goal is that we'll all be talking about Business Goose soon.
In person.
And we'll all have that inside joke together. And yeah, that's the end of my statement. Yeah. So.
All right. So should we begin In-Betweeni 035?
We shall.
All right, let's do it. So let's begin by traveling a wee bit back in time to 2018, and we're in the stunning state of Nebraska. Okay,
amazing. It actually is stunning. I've heard.
Yeah, it's incredibly gorgeous. Now I know the title "Big Sky Country" goes to Montana and Wyoming, but fuck, if you want to see every horizon, give Nebraska a Google. Or even take a visit. And to take a visit, it helps to know where it's located.
Yes, that's something I don't know. Apologies to Nebraskans. To our friends in Nebraska. Nebraskans? Write to us. Tell us what is right.
What do we call you? No,
we could Google it, but we'd rather hear it from you.
Yeah. So where is Nebraska? And like you said, don't feel embarrassed. Everyone's looking up where it is right now, even people in Nebraska. So if you just picture a map of the United States in your mind.
All right. Okay.
Now point at the center.
All right.
And that's it.
That's it? That's it. Well, that was easy.
So that's all you got to do. Things to do in Nebraska once you're done looking at all the horizons. According to the great Atlas Obscura, you could stop by the Carhenge an experimental automotive replica of Stonehenge.
Amazing. I did walk past Jill's computer as she was looking at Carhenge.
Yes.
And I was impressed.
It really is cool. Yes, it actually is.
It sounds tacky, but it is fucking awesome. Yeah. It's a piece of art.
There's the world's largest ball of stamps. You can go and say hello to Elsie Eiler in Minoe, known as America's smallest town because Elsie is the only person who lives there, and she acts as the city's mayor, librarian, and bartender.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Elsie, I've never wanted to be someone more in my life. That is the coolest fucking thing. That is an introvert's paradise.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can we just be co-owners of a town?
Sure.
Fuck the podcast. Let's be, what was it? Co-mayors, librarians, and bartenders of our own town in Nebraska.
Sounds great. Sounds fucking amazing.
I'm so down.
There's an entire wing in the Hastings Museum dedicated to Kool-Aid and an entire museum dedicated to roller skating.
I'm not going to lie. You're really selling me on Nebraska. I'm not even being sarcastic.
No, I'm not either.
I'm down to go for, let's go to Carhenge.
Yeah.
Let's see the roller skating situation.
Yep.
Elsie. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, we have to swing by Elsie.
Yeah, for sure.
So, lots of cool, weird shit to see and do in Nebraska. And then sometimes weird shit happens to the folks who live there.
I believe it.
Enter Kendra Jackson. By the time 2018 rolled around, she had been suffering through about 5 years of the worst case of the sniffles you ever did see.
Oh, I'm stressed.
Quote, everywhere I went, I always had a box of puffs, always stuffed in my pocket. Kendra told local ABC station KETV. Now, to say her nose was constantly gushing would be an understatement. About a pint of fluid came flowing out of one particular nostril every day. And to put that into perspective, think 1 glass of beer every day out of one nostril.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was about to call her Elsie. Kendra. Kendra, what happened?
Yeah. Good question. And in addition to this leak, she experienced a constant headache. And if you thought there might be some relief while sleeping, those symptoms did not turn off at bedtime.
Wait, so would she just wake up in a puddle of delicious nostril goo?
That's a great question. You're actually gonna answer that for us. Dr. Marissa, if you would please read an excerpt from CBSNews.com. Now, it's from an article by Ashley Welch, and I'm not going to say the title because it gives away Kendra's condition. So, if you would, just please read some of her experience at night.
I would love to.
Here it is.
I would love to. All right, quote, one of the things she said that stuck out to me was that she would wake up and her entire shirt would be covered with this drainage from her nose, said Carla Schneider, a physician assistant at Nebraska Medicine, and quote. That is stressful.
Yes, I'm disturbed when I wake up in my drool.
Yeah, and that's like the size of a couple quarters or something.
Yeah, a good 50-cent piece. Is that a thing? I think so.
A 50-cent piece? I think so. Can you imagine being like on a first or second date and being like, okay, so before we go to bed, here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be a beer glass full of snot coming out of my nose, so just be warned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Kendra also told KETV, because of all of this, she barely did sleep. Quote, I was like a zombie.
Oh, Kendra.
I know. So this was all happening 24/7 for the past 5 years. And I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is up with her doctors? What did they do about this?
Yeah, sounds like not much.
That's exactly right, not much. One doctor would say she was suffering from congestion. Another would say allergies. Even the fucking common cold came up a bunch of times. Now, it wasn't until early 2018 when Kendra showed up at Nebraska Medicine and met Dr. Carla Schneider, who said it best. That is not normal. That's not allergies at all, end quote. So,
fuck yeah, Dr. Carla.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah,
Yes.
It's my favorite pre-diagnosis I've ever heard. This is not normal.
Now, yeah, right. Kendra was finally asked about her physical history. Like, did anything dramatic happen in the last few years? Maybe around when this all started?
This kind of reminds me of, was it the Gypsy Rose? Who had her mom was poisoning her and whatnot and faking her illnesses. And every time she went to a new doctor, she had like 80 things. She had like, cancer and MS and every single thing under the sun.
It was from that show, The Act, right?
The Act. And apparently, like, no doctors ever looked into her history. They were just like, okay, here's some drugs. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's what this kind of reminds me of. Yeah. And then finally someone
looked into it.
Actually looked into it.
Yeah. It all just a simple question and putting the two together. So, wouldn't you know it, back in 2013, Kendra was in a car accident. She was slammed from behind and even remembers when her head hit the dashboard.
Oh, damn.
When hearing about this, a bell went off. Kendra's problem wasn't her nose, allergies, or her nasal passage, but her skull.
Great.
This wasn't good old snot. She was suffering from a cerebrospinal fluid leak, or a CSF leak.
Well, I mean, that sounds like the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
That's like the last place I want to leak from. Is my my brain. I don't want to leak from my brain. I tried to say that word.
You didn't want to leak
really
from the skull. No. So, what the fuck is cerebrospinal fluid, and how do you know when it's that kind of stuff coming out of your face?
Yes, tell me. I need to know.
Two very important questions. Now,
my anxiety is flaring up.
Put it on a tote.
Put it on a tote.
Put it on a mug. Now, no wonder why Kendra was confused. CSF is a clear liquid, just like mucus, but it has a completely different role, a super important one, and by the end of this In-Betweenie, it's going to be your best friend.
Okay? Fine, all right.
So, within your head is a fluid. This fluid that we're talking about, it acts like a watery cushion, absorbing every little impact between your brain and skull. Gentle reminder, your brain is not anchored down. It's moving around inside your skull. And to prevent a concussion from just turning your head, for example, this liquid is there as a shock absorber.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Reaction over. Okay.
Reaction over. It's produced and reabsorbed by the body every 7.5 hours, taking with it waste products from your brain cells. So it also cleans up, keeping your skull and brain area tidy. It's like the mom of your head protecting you because you're a klutz and cleaning up because you're a slob. That's what it does.
Thanks, Mom Juice. My mom brain juice. Thanks so much.
That's
don't forget to call her Mom Brain Juice.
No one's gonna remember a thing from this episode other than Mom Brain Juice now.
It is Mother's Day, and
it is Mother's Day,
is the mother of your brain. Is your Mom Brain Juice.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Brain Juice to everyone in the United States.
Put that on a card. Get on that Hallmark.
Oh man. So, where does it go? Scientists mostly believe old dirty fluid is absorbed by the bloodstream.
Great.
And it's it's a good thing. And it's filtered by the kidneys and liver the same way as other body fluids. And then it's produced again by... I didn't get into it because it's even like, it's still mysterious where it comes from. But it is actually produced from cells in your brain.
Oh.
It's this whole beautiful process, and it takes about 8 hours.
Oh, yeah, brains are really awesome. I'm so glad I have one. It's like...
They are.
They do it all.
They really do it all.
Just like moms.
It's no joke. Now, if there's a hole in your skull, say caused by a severe accident, there's a chance that fluid will flow through it. Marissa's grabbing me right now.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? Now, Dr. Marissa, would you please tell us how to test for a leak?
Yes, I'm really nervous. Okay. All right. Quote, according to Johns Hopkins University, diagnosing a CSF leak includes an analysis of nasal fluid for a protein called beta-2 transferrin, which is most only found in the cerebrospinal fluid. Nailed it. All right. The analysis is called a pledget study, which involves placing small cotton pads called pledgents into the nose, end quote.
There you go.
Is it pledget or plegent?
It could be pledget.
Pledget?
Pledget. So
There you go.
pick whatever the fuck you like. Yeah. Whatever. In any case, they stuff cotton balls up your nose, and then they test for beta-2 transferrin. There you go. Easy peasy.
Done.
Now, once it was confirmed Kendra sprung a leak from her noggin, doctors did what any one of us would do when we find a leak. You cock that shit up.
Yes.
That's
amazing.
It. That's all you
Also horrifying. Yes. How the fuck are they going to do that?
So, for real, all you have to do in a case of CSF leakage, you find the hole and you fill it. According to Gizmodo.com, quote, Nebraska medicine doctors went up through Jackson's nose and grafted some of her own fatty tissue to plug the hole. And Jackson is already on the mend.
Oh.
End quote.
Oh.
So, yeah, you lose a little weight in one area and your head is fixed. So it's like a twofer.
Sign me up. I've got to have a hole somewhere in there. I'm down. Who do I call? Dr. Carla? Dr. Carla, if you're listening.
So finally, after 5 years, Kendra no longer has to carry tissues, thanks to a doctor that really listened to her symptoms and cared about her past. Now, there's many lessons here. One of them well said by Dr. Schneider to CBSNews.com. Find a doctor that you can have a good relationship with and never be afraid to get a second opinion. We won't be offended. End quote.
I love that.
So good.
Amazing.
I know.
Make those doctors listen. You do have a problem.
That's right.
You probably don't, but if you think you do, see a couple people.
Yeah. Now, after the break, when you find 15,000 bees in your car.
Great.
Also very inconvenient.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Please do.
Hello, everyone. You may recognize me as Gabby from the History of Everything podcast.
And my name is Brenna, and you don't recognize me from anything yet.
Together, we're two scientists who explore all of the weird little questions and conspiracies of the universe in our new podcast, Mystery of Everything. Everything has an explanation.
We hope.
But that is what we're here to figure out. We will dive into the science behind many popular conspiracy theories, such as vaccines causing autism, flat earth theory, and was the moon landing fake? And if so, why the heck would anyone even do that?
But it's not just conspiracies. There's a lot of cool mysteries that we will attempt to use science to explain, such as near-death experiences, what made the Vikings go berserk, and can I control my co-host with MK Ultra?
Wait, what? Anyway, make sure to check out the Mystery of Everything podcast everywhere where you find your podcasts.
Hello everyone, Stakuyi here.
And I'm Gabby.
And we are the hosts of History of Everything, a podcast which you can probably guess by the name is, well, it's about everything. Do you want to know why people thought potatoes were evil and would give you syphilis? Are you curious about all the stories of the terrible and stupid ways that people have kicked the bucket over the years? Do you want to hear tales about all of the different badasses of history and the lives that they had brought to life? Well, if so, then look no further. History of Everything is just the right podcast for you. It's available on Spotify, Pandora, and anywhere else that you get your podcast from. Join us for some fun and just see how weird and wacky history can be.
Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms. So when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. And we're back.
We are so back.
We are so back, and we're leaving Nebraska, and we're heading to a border town. That's right, we're heading south. We're heading very far south to Las Cruces.
Ah, been there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
New Mexico.
Yeah, that's how you drive from Texas to California. You
No
drive
way.
through Las Cruces.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea you had a connection.
We had a connection and we would stay there. I think there is like a La Quinta there I frequented a couple times.
Oh my God.
So my mom and I would do, sorry, this is so boring
No,
to our
go for
listeners.
it.
We would take road trips
Yeah.
from Texas to California and back to save money on planes. We
Yeah.
didn't save that much money. But
It's an excuse
yeah.
for quality time.
there you go.
Yeah.
And we would always stay in Las Cruces.
Holy shit. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Anything stand out to you? Any at all?
The La Quinta was great. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And that's all I remember. And then we would load up on
Sponsor us.
snacks and the people were nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They are nice because the story, yeah, it's a good story. It's
Okay.
another heartwarming one. So we're in Las Cruces, New Mexico, located a stone's throw from the U.S.-Mexico border, a city right on the edge of the Chihuahuan Desert. Now, it's a beautiful day. In late March of this year, spring has sprung and it's the perfect time to be out and about getting errands done.
Nice.
Now, this story takes place in late afternoon around 4 p.m. in a parking lot right outside Albertson's supermarket. So I'm thinking the gentleman to which this all happens to, he was like probably picking stuff up for dinner, I'm thinking.
Yeah. So far, this is like the most chill,
Yeah.
unlikely place for anything to happen. This is like
Yes.
one of the most boring things a person does
Incredibly.
every day.
Yes,
Yes.
incredibly boring.
I'm nervous for them. That's how every horror movie starts. It's
starts
boring, and then
boring.
it's not.
That's right. So from his account, he wasn't even in the supermarket for more than like 10 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
In any case, it was an uneventful shopping experience. He leaves the supermarket, he gets into the black Buick, and just drives away. But a few minutes into the drive home, something doesn't sound right.
Oh, no.
And it's coming from the back seat.
Oh, no.
So, Dr. Marissa, would you be so kind as to take a look at a photo and tell us what the gentleman saw when he turned around?
Yes. Show it to
Okay.
me.
Here we go.
Oh, no. This is bad. I'm just gonna start out by saying this is a scary photo.
Yeah. For many reasons.
Warning. People.
It will be on our Instagram.
Yeah, if you're squeamish, don't look at this photo. It is a car in a parking lot at Albertsons. That's not the bad part. And the bad part is that the back window is rolled down halfway. And then all in the top part of the car and almost taking up about half of the open part of the window
Yeah.
is just bees.
Just
all
bees.
clumped together like a pile. It looks like a big ashtray full of cigarettes, except they're bees and they're in a car.
Yeah.
So not even close to an ashtray full of cigarettes.
Yeah,
but
it's about a half a car window's worth of bees.
yeah, it's making me so uncomfortable. I'm not even scared of bees, but I am scared of a lot of bees.
It's alarming. Yeah.
Yeah.
He left his window open for 10 minutes, and this is what happened,
Great.
basically.
So never open your window at Albertsons. I think that's what we've learned here. Is this a fire truck?
It is. Yeah.
There's a fire truck. And did he call this fire truck?
Yeah, we'll get...
Sorry, I just noticed a giant fire truck. Okay,
yeah,
continue.
We're going to get into it. You're going to get into
Great.
it. So, now, needless to say, driving down a highway would probably disturb a swarm attached to your car.
For sure.
And thousands of bees, approximately 15,000, that's what we're looking at, flying about, possibly stinging you occasionally while you're driving. It seems like a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
So somehow this guy was able to return to the same parking lot without crashing, with the swarm still attached. Fucking, I don't know how he did it. It's excellent driving. Kudos.
Amazing.
yeah,
Well done.
I know. He parked and then called 911.
Did he get out of the car?
Yes. he
Okay,
got
okay.
very far.
I was like, there's a crucial step that you need to do before the 911 call.
Just get the fuck out.
Remove yourself from the beehive that is now your car.
So now, cut to a family barbecue.
Okay. I'm with you, Jill.
Okay. A wholesome scene in a backyard just a short distance away. Here, Jesse Johnson, 37 years old, is cleaning up a grill when he got a call from Las Cruces Fire Department.
Okay.
Now, not only has Jesse been a firefighter and a paramedic for 10 years, he's the guy you call when you're in Las Cruces and there's bees involved.
Oh, so this happens a lot.
I guess. So his passion is bees, and it was his time to shine. Quote, "I'll do anything to keep people from killing the bees," he said to the New York Times.
Oh,
That's right.
Jesse.
Now, when Jesse arrived at Albertsons, the Las Cruces Fire Department had already blocked off the surrounding area. That's what you just saw there.
Excellent. Yes,
So-
the fire truck.
the fire truck. Now, Dr. Marissa, if you would, please read from the aptly named New Mexico State University paper, Honeybees in New Mexico, as to why this car was chosen.
Amazing. I will. All right. Quote, European honeybee colonies in good health tend to overpopulate their existing hive in the spring when nectar and pollen are readily available. The old queen will leave the old hive, taking several hundred to several thousand workers with her. This is swarming. Swarming bees leave the old hive in mass with the queen leading. At some point, a scout bee will indicate that a suitable site for nesting has been located and the swarm will settle in that location. End quote. And in this case, it was this dude's Buick.
So the Buick, I think the Buick was more like a pit stop during the relocation. They needed like a breather.
Just like me and my mom.
That's right.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, they were
it's their La Quinta.
It's their La Quinta. The Buick was the La Quinta. They were getting snacks. And the car was just like, oh, this looks good. Some fucking shade. Let's do it.
Why
So
not?
now, usually swarms are not moved unless it's in a high foot trafficked area or the roof of someone's car. That's
Yeah.
dangerous for people and the fucking bees.
Yep.
So if you do see a big old pile of bees chilling in any place other than that, just leave them be. No pun intended.
Oh.
I know. I wrote it. I'm sorry. So, since swarms typically only stay in place for like a few hours or a day or so. So, once the scout finds a good location for a new hive, they'll leave. It's not permanent.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Are we potentially facing a situation where we just leave the bees in the car until they're ready to leave?
So, I'm glad you brought that up. They couldn't leave the bees, and we'll talk about that as to why.
Okay. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Now, donning a beekeeper's outfit, Jesse approached the car with an empty box sprinkled in lemongrass oil.
Okay.
Believe it or not, quote, "it really mimics the scent of the queen," Jesse told the New York Times.
Oh.
Now, handful by handful, the bees were placed into said box, and this is my favorite part, why I chose the story. Now, Jesse took his time to make certain every bee was removed. So what would have taken a few minutes took like a half hour. And this is because the guy driving the car, it wasn't his. So it was stolen. No, I'm kidding. No, it wasn't stolen. But it really wasn't his. He borrowed it from a friend to run this one errand.
Oh,
I swear
my
to God.
I almost rather it be stolen because I don't know, that situation is taken care of. But now this guy has to like call his friend and be like, "You're not going to believe me.
Yeah.
You're really not going to believe me." But
Yeah. So this poor fucker was out for 10 minutes with his friend's car and all this shit went down. Anyway, at the end of the day, 15,000 bees weighing in at 3.5 pounds
holy shit.
were taken away. Their new home is now with Jesse, who already takes care of several hives.
Aww.
Yeah, and during all of this, only 2 folks were stung. A supermarket security guard, and I know.
He doesn't get paid enough.
Does not at all. Albertsons, give that person a raise.
Yeah.
So that security guard and one firefighter, and of course the other firefighters gave him shit for it. Quote, "One guy got stung on the lip, and we made fun of him the next morning." End quote. Mr. Johnson said.
I mean, I probably would have also made fun of him. That's a very funny place to be.
Fucking lip. God damn.
Ouch.
So that's all heartwarming, but this podcast wouldn't be this podcast if we didn't look into something disturbing.
Ooh la la.
So
Let's do it.
how many stings from a European honeybee does it take to seek medical attention if you're not severely allergic?
Great
Now,
question.
Yes. Dr. Marissa, would you please read from the paper Honeybees in New Mexico for the answer?
I would love to. I'll write, quote, "It depends." Children, older people, and those with compromised immune systems or other medical issues may not be able to withstand as many stings as a young, healthy adult. Most deaths from multiple stings occur in people in their 70s or 80s with reduced heart and lung function. The toxic dose, LD50, of honeybee venom is 8.6 stings per pound of body weight for an average person. This would be about 1,000 stings for an otherwise healthy adult, but a child of 35 pounds would receive a lethal dose from only 300 stings, which is possible with an aggressive swarm. End quote.
Fuck yeah. Well,
there you go.
That's what I mean by fuck yeah is that's a proper, well, that's interesting ending.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, how can we bring death into the picture? Yes, with facts. Let's just, the easiest way to bring death into the situation is to just tell the truth. Oh my gosh, I love it. Amazing episode.
Can't help it. Thank you to Stevie and Layla.
Yeah.
Shout out. And to everyone who's been rating and subscribing. Amazing.
You guys are amazing. You're the ultimate business gooses to us.
Yes.
Which is a compliment.
Maybe that's what we should call our herd, our people.
I would
our
love
business.
to.
Maybe, should we take a vote?
Yeah.
Contact us. Should we be called Business Goose?
Yeah. Do you want to be called Business Goose? I think it's a compliment.
Yeah, and if you don't know what we're talking about, I think that was from the In-Betweeni, where the walrus accidentally woke up in Ireland.
Yes.
I think that's because we translated what walrus was, and you brought up the Mandarin translation for penguin or something.
That's right. I believe the Mandarin translation to exact English for penguin is business goose.
Yeah.
And we just thought that was the most charming thing we'd ever fucking heard.
Yeah. I mean, you're welcome.
You're welcome, world.
And please, stay interesting.
Please do.